This video was brought to you in part by Jevil___O, previously known as Invader_Hours, and contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
For your safety, make sure you have the following in the vicinity: earplugs, a pencil, no word on if pens are allowed, a sheet of paper, a standard Christian Bible open to Psalms 91:10, Klingon doesn't count, 2008 Toyota 5,000-pound LPG side-shift forklift. If something unusual begins speaking in tongues tangible to the naked ear, insert your earplugs and turn to your pencil and paper. Why did they need to specify tangible to the naked ear? How would you know if it wasn't? You can't hear that. Also, it says to insert your earplugs. Nothing about, turning the volume down. Just ignore that. Write the following on the page. I can see this paper. I can see my hand. I can't hear the screaming of thousands. I can't hear the feast. I'm a moving, breathing human being on planet Earth. After these words are written, recite Psalms 91:10 aloud. No evil shall befall you, and no plague shall come near your dwelling. If memories and imagery of something unholy persist in your mind, pray. It is all you can do. Bro, I have intrusive thoughts. That's just Tuesday for me. In the event you're required to carry out these procedures, contact authorities immediately afterwards. Wait, which authorities? The fire department? The Center for Disease Control? That's not very specific. You will be administered amnestics. Many appear to lead a normal life afterwards. Appear. August 13, 2003, Tree of Heaven. In the late 1990s, a now classified documentary-based television program would debut from a local station in Pennsylvania. The program revolved around woodland plants and animals, and was primarily directed towards space children. The star of the show and narrator would talk about the wonders of nature, the dangers of it, how to appreciate it, and, most importantly, how to protect yourself from it. Unfortunately, in early 2001, the program would be taken off the air due to the host being cancelled on Twitter, passing away in 2001 after criticizing Boeing. Then something odd happened. On August 13, 2003, the 13th episode of the series began a rerun seemingly out of nowhere. The following audio recording depicts the beginning segments of the episode.
Good morning, bushwhackers. Today we're venturing into the heart of the forest to find a plant that's as beautiful as it is deceptive. Poison oak. We all know...
During one of the interlude segments, an anomalous broadcast would hijack the program. This broadcast depicted videos of a red, melted face that spoke to the viewer in a warm yet deeply disconcerting voice. I feel like those two things are mutually exclusive. This face and its properties will be hereby referred to as Fen 228. Wait, are you telling me this happened 227 other times and they still haven't fixed it? I really feel like they should get on that. As Fen 228 spoke, clips of footage and even live camera feed monitoring hospitals and bedrooms would be occasionally overlaid on the screen, obscuring Fen 228's face. Though most remember Fen 228 speaking English, multiple non-English speaking viewers remembered understanding every word that was spoken. The following clip is a restored recording of the anomalous broadcast. The duration of the clip has been shortened, and the audio has been muffled, reversed, and dampened. These alterations are absolutely necessary to suppress its hazardous effects as effectively as possible. For maximum safety, watch with blue light glasses and insert your earplugs. Seriously, why not just mute it? It feels like that would be way easier. Alright, let's get into this documentary. But first, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, The Boiled One. This broadcast will be hereby referred to as Broadcast 813. Holy cow, there's been 812 other broadcasts like this? Fix it! You have one job! Broadcast 813 was viewed by roughly 530, wait, roughly? That's pretty darn specific, residents throughout the southern Pennsylvania area, and upon viewing left many severely distraught. Aside from the discomfort and paranoia Fen 228's television presence had brought to the viewer, aside from the discomfort and paranoia, Fen 228's television presence had brought to the viewers experiences that were highly unnatural. Many viewers reported not being able to keep the image of Fen 228's face out of their minds, some even continued to hear its voice days after viewing. Some. So there's a bunch of people out there that saw this, went, huh, weird, and then went on with their lives like nothing happened. This thing had less of an effect on people than Doki Doki Literature Club. A victim who requested to remain anonymous, Jason Albertson, claimed that the face was living in his brain and feeding on his spine. Wait, why does it say his in the thing marked with quotes? Was he speaking in the third person? They didn't mention that on the list of symptoms. Another described trumpets playing in their ears before they fell asleep. None of these people knew that this was only the beginning of a whole new species of memes that would never be fully understood. August 14, 2003, the Great Northeast Blackout of 2003. After the anomalous frequency was detected by television station troubleshooters, the NERC was ordered by the Ephrata branch to have all power grids local to the state of Pennsylvania disabled by 4 p.m. to prevent further escalation of the anomaly and the public knowledge of Broadcast 813. Wait, what's this sign supposed to mean? Absolutely no squiggly exclamation marks allowed? The outage ultimately spread to various parts of New York, New Jersey, Ohio, and even Canada as well, creating the famous Great Northeast Blackout of 2003. Almost 50 million people were without power, some not getting it back until days later. Bro, the broadcast was like a minute long. This is just excessive. Also, look at the little frowny face. I can't take this seriously. During the confusion caused by the outage, all traces of Broadcast 813 were collected by the Ephrata branch and seemingly wiped from existence, including news articles in the works from the morning after the capitalized word broadcast, internet posts, memes, recordings, and more. The cause of the blackout was promptly covered up and claimed to have been a combination of human error, electrocuted squirrels, charged creepers, and the result of trees falling onto sagging power lines somewhere in Cleveland, Ohio. But the damage had been done. Aftermath.
12 days
After Broadcast 813 was blocked from the air, a historically massive influx of Pseudocoma, LIS, occurred throughout the state of Pennsylvania, leaving 509 people affected, and many families entitled to financial compensation. Is it roughly 509? Pseudocoma is an extremely rare condition in which a patient experiences a cerebro-medullospinal disconnection, leaving them to be conscious but unable to move or communicate verbally due to complete paralysis of all voluntary muscles in the body, except for vertical eye movements and blinking. Why did they put that entire slide in parentheses? The anomalous outbreak of such a rare condition was regarded as a spectacle by the U.S. Department of Health, and was put under governmental investigation immediately, which means nothing got done. One thing in common with all these cases is that the patients had been at home watching TV the night the broadcast 813 was aired. Okay, we get it, it's called broadcast 813, you don't have to keep saying the name, just say the broadcast. Though the victims of this outbreak were unable to speak, they were able to communicate through Morse code by blinking. Unfortunately, none of them knew Morse code, so this didn't help at all. More than 60 victims were interviewed. What do you mean more than 60? Did they just stop counting after that? They can keep track of 813 broadcasts, but they get confused counting past 60? Who hired these guys? Many of these interviews held unavailing results that often led to more questions, due to the aforementioned lack of knowledge of Morse code, and many others held results that required archival or termination. However, fairly late into the investigation, the Ephrata branch was notified of a particularly odd case revolving around one Job Zamperini. Okay, that name is definitely made up. An elderly victim of the anomalous pseudocoma outbreak. Oh, thank goodness they covered up his eyes. We won't want this man who has already been named to lose his anonymity by someone identifying him through his eye color. That would be awful. And look, they didn't even bother rotating it. The guy from the nature documentary got his whole face blurred out, and this guy didn't even get a decent black bar. Job Zamperini specifically requested his alias to be used in future records instead of his real name, which will remain classified. See, I told you they made it up! They couldn't have come up with a better one, though? This is like that Japanese baseball game. They might as well have called him Bobson Dugnut. Dugnut was a war vet and fluent in Morse code, putting him on the mark as a potential interviewee as soon as the outbreak was put under investigation. After a very odd photo was taken in his backyard by his visiting grandson, his family became deeply troubled and convinced his house was haunted. Look at this, they censored the kid's face, too! They can totally do it, they just decided not to do it for Job Zamboni because he specifically asked for it out of sheer spite. Yeah, everyone gets to be anonymous, except for this guy in particular, frick you specifically. This led him to contact a local priest in hopes his house would be blessed. The following photo depicts Fen 228 standing next to the small playhouse in Zucchini's backyard. The photo itself has proved to be non-hazardous and safe to view, although still anomalous in nature. For most comfortable viewing experience, wear blue light glasses or view from a distance of 3 feet or more. Zeppelin claimed something horrible and unholy was with him, and would hurt him and possibly others if he described it and what it was telling him. So, obviously, he was immediately asked to describe it and what it was telling him. The following is recovered, previously archived, recording in which Officer T. Gomez of the Ephrata branch interviews John Zirconium. Can you please describe its face to me? Bro, I literally just told you I can't do that. The rest of the interview consists of Zoroark describing the plot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which takes 7.5 hours. The interview ends before it can get to the second episode. Thanks to Jevel___O, previously known as Invader_Hours, for requesting this video. If you have any video requests, put them in the comments and I'll try to make them. Original video by Dr. Nowhere, link in description. Thanks for watching.